Hello, welcome to the Comic Book Club. I'm your host, Jamil Payne, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Amanda Comey. How are you, Amanda?
I'm great, but this daylight savings time thing ought to be the next villain to get taken down in the Marvel universe. Maybe we can have Thanos get rid of the part where we spring ahead and then we keep the fall back, right? Like I'm trying to make a joke about the stat thingy because I've seen Marvel movies. Is this not working?
It's too early for this, Amanda. It's
Okay.
way too early to be clever. Okay, today, listeners, we are talking Captain Marvel by Kelly Sue Deconnick, but we are also talking about the movie because we both see the movie, right, Amanda? Right?
Yes,
oh,
I saw the
God.
movie.
Oh, I was so worried because I haven't heard from you. I'm like, oh, Jesus. This is going to be a one-way conversation. I actually do have something else to talk about this. Not really, but this rolls into like our conversation about the Captain Marvel movie. But I think we should go into like controversy around this movie. Amanda, what do you know about the controversy about Captain Marvel?
I actually don't know anything.
Oh, you are a lucky woman. You are.
I heard that Rotten Tomatoes was getting brigaded and that they decided to shut down. I don't even know why they allow this anyways. They decided to shut down the ability to review a movie before it came out.
Right.
And then I remember that Brie Larson said that she had noticed that it was mostly white guys get to do press and review movies, and so she coordinated with somebody to do a study, and they confirmed this. And so she said, hey, it would be nice if we just threw in like some token diversity into my press pool. That would be great. That would make me really happy. And then the last I heard about it was that most of the reviews that I saw were written by dudes, but that was okay.
Okay, so that last part I'm going to get to because that's the part that made me angry. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, has been the forefront of a cultural war since 2012 when she became Captain Marvel.
Except, of course, there was a Captain Marvel before that.
Yes, but Carol Danvers...
So it was specifically Carol Danvers being Captain Marvel was a problem.
Yes. Has been the bane of male comic book readers for a long time. Because, again, she's kind of the beginning of the more diversity in Marvel. Which I've talked about that I don't really like how they do it, but at least they're trying. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, Carol Danvers is at the forefront. Kamala Khan is a Indian chick. You got black Spider-Man, girl Thor, so forth, Asian Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Well, all within like 3 or 4 years of her becoming Captain Marvel. So she's been on the forefront of this war with like dudes. And I don't want to say straight white men for a reason I'm gonna get to. But it seems like this character in general is just like, and it's nothing to do with the character herself, right? But like this character in general just seems to elicit really strong emotions.
Okay.
And like when they was making this movie, they somehow spilled. Those comic book trolls somehow infected normal people to hate the movie too, or perceive to hate the movie. And now you just have like this big clusterfuck of like sides. Look, why can't I just enjoy a movie? Why everything had to be political? I can't enjoy football games. Like the Patriots won. I was happy Tom Brady got his 6th ring. Well, you know what? The Patriots are Trump's team. Like, no, I don't. I just want to see a football game. And that's how I feel about my comic book movies. So what has happened is it has become this radical politicalization of this movie on both sides of this argument. Now, we all know, like, the terrible side of this argument. We know the terrible side of this argument. But there's also, like, an extreme side that would be on our side. Like, I know, like, the Mary Sue, who's a site I read periodically. You know what I'm saying? And who's, like, is, like, a legitimate site. Actually wrote an article that said, only men are giving this movie bad reviews.
Oh, that's not true.
No, that
I definitely had a little bit of trouble finding reviews that weren't written by guys, but everybody was getting this mixed reviews.
No, that's my point. When someone pointed that out to them and are giving this, mostly men are giving this.
All right, well there we go. That's all you can ask for.
But of course, like the Twitter link. They the Twitter, they write the headline in the Twitter link.
Mm-hmm.
They left that the same though. They left it just only men are giving this. Like, but it's like, then I read like another entertainment journalist who's like well respected was like, men don't have to like it. That's okay. But maybe because they don't understand it, because this movie is so steeped in womanhood, or something like that. I'm like, number one, I don't know what the hell movie she was watching. Number two,
yeah,
what? Like, really? Like, I was like, really? This movie is fried green tomatoes? Like, what? What? As like, even if I feel like even if I wasn't a man, shit like that would get on my nerves. But like, that's kind of like what I've been reading, where like, people just can't. You see this with the new Ghostbusters movie, right? Ivan Reitman says something innocuous, like, I'm just getting this back to the real fans, and all of a sudden it becomes this thing of like, well, you hate women, or you hate the 2016 movie, and it's just like, I can't enjoy shit no more, Amanda. That's what I'm trying to get to, and like, I'm trying to go into this movie with an open mind,
mm-hmm.
without judgment, and like, I had trepidations about this movie, but I was scared to voice them because I didn't want to be labeled like one of those guys. And like, the thing, my problem is, I belong to a lot of comedy groups that are mostly black males, right? And this is why I say it's now a white male thing, and that's why I refuse to say it's a white male thing that mainly doing this. Because I know a lot of black dudes that hate Carol Danvers and who hate what Brie Larson said. And like, as Jack Random told me, why is it that a group full of niggas worried that she talking shit about white men? So that goes to show you that it's just not a white man thing. It's just a man thing in general with this character, with the hate for this character. You know what I'm saying? And like, it boggles my mind. Look, we read Ultimates. We had problems with her character in Ultimates, you know what I'm saying? But it's not because she's a woman, but everybody is putting this like, because she's a woman.
And I think actually reading the stuff that we did now, I think I understand more why her character didn't really work in Ultimates. But you're right. We read her in Ultimates and we had issues with her that had nothing to do with her being a woman, nothing to do with her wearing a less sexy costume, nothing to do with her totally awesome butch haircut. Like,
see, I wasn't the only one. I knew it. Okay, sorry.
The haircut had nothing to do with her being like a robot.
Yeah, so, but also, I'm going to record say I don't really like the Captain Marvel version of Carol Danvers. I think I like a little bit more after this book that we're going to talk about later. Because, like, I've read a lot of stuff with her as Captain Marvel, but it's all written by somebody else that's not Kelly Sue Deconnick. Mm-hmm. And they tend to make her, like, but, like, I think where I fall is on this argument altogether is with Carol Danvers in general is I don't feel that she's worthy of all this attention. I know that seems unfair and that's not right. Now, of course, I'm going to still keep an open mind, so I want to make that clear. But, like, Carol Danvers has always been a shitty character. Just, period, point blank. And there was a time, in my opinion, that Marvel was shoving her down our throat. Mm-hmm. And that's not because she's a woman, because they've done that with other characters that I don't like that were male. You know what I'm saying? But, like, they tried to gaslight everybody thinking that Carol Danvers was, like, a beloved character. And I'm just like, no. I've been reading comic books for 20 years now, regularly almost. That's not true. That's not true at all. Like her biggest feat was, she gave birth and ran away with her rapist, and she's the Barry Switch for Rogue. And at one point, she was like a drunk flying into walls.
Why didn't we read that one?
It's a team book. We actually may get to that. Now, I did enjoy her Brian Reed run, where they kind of like did away with a lot of that stuff. She was still in her sexy costume, which I do like. I just want to make that clear. But it was more like the Kelly Sue Deconnick run, where it's more slice of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a superhero, but also she got all these like real responsibilities as a human being, and she's a lot more likable. But like, it's this thing of like, they giving her so much attention, and all I can really think in my mind is, man, I really wish this was Storm or Rogue or somebody, and it wasn't her. Like some female that I actually like. Like some female that like I've admired since I was a kid.
Well, I think if they were gonna pluck out a character to let someone, change them so they can tell a story,
it would be her. Yeah,
slightly about feminism. She's a good candidate because, like you said, she wasn't really a beloved character. Like, could you imagine? Like, I don't know. I feel like,
no, you're right. Like, that's the thing.
Like, I feel like you can't just change Storm's costume. I don't know. I mean, like, they do, but like, I don't know.
No, you're right. Like, you're absolutely right. That's why, like, even though I haven't liked this character, I haven't like complained like other dudes have, just for that simple fact, because I get it, right? Like, I understand why they used her. It's like making Iceman gay. Like, I don't like that they made Iceman gay, but if you was gonna choose an X-Man to make gay, he's as long as he's been around, he's kind of a blank slate. So I kind of understand why they chose Bobby to be gay. Same thing with Captain Marvel, but like it just like I know for a fact this comic book didn't sell. You know what I'm saying? They put Carol Danvers in 8 different books, and her own comic book didn't sell. But like, they trying to convince us. Marvel was trying to convince us. They had like the Carol Corps, and like, you looked in the back. As you was reading this comic, they had like the question and answer page, and you had all these pictures of women like dressed up as like Captain Marvel as Carol Danvers in the back of this comic, and I'm just like, this is the first year of this comic.
Yeah.
You trying to tell me this character call on like that? Like, that's bullshit. I know that's not true. Not the way as they was putting it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense?
I do, but like, at this time, I was also going to like ladies' night at Phantom Comics, and like Kelly Sue Skyped in and like hung out with us, and we were all like totally into it. And like, if I had had a hoodie that looked like Captain Marvel's jacket, I totally would have worn it everywhere. Like, it, even without like being fans of the book, everyone was fans of the idea of
I think
her writing this book.
I think people are fans of Kelly Sue. That's what I think. I think it's more Kelly Sue than it is the character. But even with all that, this book really wasn't selling. And I looked it up because I didn't want to be like an asshole. But like, it was kind of low on the rung. But they kept. It
was all. I want to throw this out there for a minute. I feel like women trade weight more.
Say that again.
Women trade weight. Like, because we don't want to go into comic book stores to pick up our floppies, we would rather stay home and order them off of Amazon when they're in trades. You
know what? I don't like going to comic book stores and doing it, so I understand. That might, that might be true. Maybe you're right, and maybe I should.
No. I mean, like, I don't think it's something we can statistically show right now, but like, I do think that was an aspect of it, because we were all like, oh my gosh, like, the book looks so cool, like, I can't wait to order it when like volume 1 comes out. And she was like, great, order it when the trade's ready. And like, yeah.
Like, well, it's just, I don't know, it's just that weird thing where like, I feel like, I've read like a recent Captain Marvel comic, and they said she's an icon, and I'm like, bullshit. But with all that being said, all my trepidations about this character, for everything I read, I really enjoyed.
Yeah. I wanted to there was one thing that like really, I mean, I guess we should talk about the book a little bit more since we're talking about it already.
Today we are talking Captain Marvel, the 2012 series, written by Kelly Sue Deconnick. It ran from July 18, 2012 to November 6, 2013, with a total of 17 issues. The Mayas of Earth, Mayas Heroes is back. Ace Pilot, Legendary Avenger, and 100% pure badass. Carol Danvers has a new name, a new mission, and all the power she needs to make her own life a living hell.
Yeah. That I found really interesting about Captain Marvel is that she's essentially like Superman. Like she's way, way, way too powerful for the action to be interesting. It's more just like exciting to watch her punch stuff because she loves it. So like they have to add the drama by giving her problems that she can't solve by punching.
Right.
And I think it's also an interesting contrast to Wonder Woman because Carol wasn't born with her powers. And at least the version of Captain Marvel that we just read, like, she wants these powers. Like, she sort of even wished for them is how she got them. Like she wanted these powers. She loves them. She loves being powerful. She loves punching stuff. Whereas Wonder Woman Diana was born with them and it's just normal for her. And sort of having that I feel like that makes her a character that can be interesting for a few stories.
Yeah, I really liked it. It had shades of the Brian Reed run when she was Miss Marvel, like a few years before this comic started.
Okay.
And it ran 50 issues, and it was the same thing where, like, I was reading a lot of Marvel comics, and one of Marvel's biggest problems, in my opinion, everything ties in, right?
Mm.
So I dropped a lot of those comics, but I kept reading hers. Like, I really enjoyed her comic. And, like, the reason I liked it so much was it's kind of light in a weird way. Like, you know, she doesn't until it's like a crossover issue, then it ruins the book for a couple of issues. But, like, just like with her book, and I'm talking about the Kelly Sue Deconnick book also, is just like, it's kind of light, right? Even though with all the superheroics and all that, right, it's kind of light, it's kind of brisk.
Right, and I kind of enjoyed that. And this is where I'm going to say the opposite thing when we talk about the movie. I kind of enjoyed that there weren't really, like, fighting stakes. Like, she's not going to lose a fight. She can fly. She can absorb energy. She can sparkle punch people. She's not going to lose a fight. I don't have to worry about that part. I can just enjoy her, like, her being like, I can fly. You know, most action sequences are meant to like give you sort of artificial stakes. And I enjoyed not having to bring, like, you know, like if I'm reading a Spider-Man book, like I really have to sit there and pretend that I think Spider-Man might die. And that takes energy, but like Captain Marvel did not ask that of me.
No.
At least in the comic.
No, they did not. It did not. And like she's had like a major power upgrade because Carol Danvers used to be a lot more vulnerable. But I guess as her new position as the Women of Marvel, I guess they just kind of took that away.
Well, I also like that for how it lets her make like occasional, I guess, feminist statements, which is like, okay.
You see, I didn't read none of that, which is a good thing. Like, I didn't even pick up on it. Usually I'm sensitive to these things. I didn't quite pick up on it.
So it's just the idea that despite being super overpowered, she's still occasionally underestimated. And it's like, you know, like she's fighting with Captain America and like, what did they call her? Like his sidekick or something, or like Mrs. America or whatever. And it's like, dude, like she is objectively more powerful than him. Like she is like, you have to be so stupid to still be underestimating her. And in that case, it's so obvious that she's being underestimated because she's a woman. And I don't think anyone can sit there and not go, ha ha ha, like, that guy's so stupid, he's underestimating Captain Marvel because she's a woman. How could you be so stupid? Like, she's so powerful, it's so clear in that situation. And, like, I don't think anyone can get offended by that. Like, I don't think anybody would see themselves as the guy who's like, oh, you're Captain America's secretary or sidekick or whatever. Like, I think it works. And, like, women like to see that, like, because we get, like, low key underestimated sometimes. Like, it's not, like, overt. Like, it's not it's not like a conspiracy level, but it's like, yeah, like, of course, I'm like a super powerful, self-actualized Captain Marvel type. And yeah, like, you go, girl. Like, I hate it when that one dude, like, calls me Mrs. Husband's name,
About that part. No, I agree with everything. And I wonder if another reason maybe this book gets so much hate is because of the covers, especially the first six with heavily, like, heavily is inspired by feminist iconography.
Yeah.
And I wonder if even if men don't know where that's from, it just rubs them the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, I love the covers. The design
on these books
was great.
I mean, there's one artist I didn't like, but we'll get into that later. I was really upset that they didn't go through with the haircut. Like, in the other books, they went through with the haircut. Look, I hate that haircut. I hate the Butch haircut. I really do. But I was going with an open mind, and I was ready to love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't do it. And I was really upset that they... Hey, hold up. I came here and what the punk rock haircut, why isn't it here? Like, they just completely whiffed on it. Like,
yeah. I also, I like that they didn't really waste a lot of time explaining, like, the new costume either. It was just like, she shows up to work now and this is what she wears instead.
I don't know. I think I would like kind of an explanation. Like, just... Because sometimes when you're reading comics, you never know when you're missing something. So I feel like, did I miss an issue? Was this like in like Mighty Avengers? Like, was this like in the last 2 pages of the Mighty Avengers that I didn't read? Because in comics, you never know. You never know when they're doing like economy or storyline, or you are missing, missing something on the side that you should have read that would be pertinent to this. So, like, I wish it would have just a bit more of an explanation, just so I wouldn't doubt that I wasn't reading everything.
Mm.
Do you like any of the side characters?
I love Monica Rambeau. The other Captain Marvel.
The real Captain Marvel? No, I kid, yes.
I really love... I actually like her dynamic with Captain America.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me because if they both have military backgrounds and they both kind of have this huge power and they're both also just slightly like they can't really be normal. Like, it seems kind of natural for them to have like a camaraderie.
Right.
It also seems natural that if they're both leaders that they would like not usually go on missions together. So I feel like I would love to read a comic where they're both like trying to lead the team at the same time and disagreeing. Is that one of the Civil Wars? Is that a thing?
I don't think so, but I can see
it'll be Civil War 3 will be sorry.
You know, at some point we're gonna have to read that, right?
Sure. Anything can happen. I'm open to all possibilities.
Just boys. You know what? I'm one of those people that dislike all Civil Wars. The real one, Civil and the both Civil Wars in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then I also liked her relationship with Jessica. Like, I just kind of, like you said, like, it's a shame that sometimes you feel like you're not sure if you're missing stuff from the story, but my favorite parts were where it touched the other parts of the superhero world where like it made me feel like she really lived there.
Well, it's so weird with Jessica because like there's a backstory behind that. It's
Okay.
really interesting. So, I'm about to go on a tangent here, but I think it might be pertinent to her relationship with Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
When Brian Michael Bendis came into comics, right?
Uh-huh.
He was going to use Jessica Drew.
Okay.
And they was like, no, we have plans for her. So then he created Jessica Jones.
Okay.
Jessica Jones, as you know, was a superhero. Well, not for real. She's a new character, but like her backstory was she was once a hero that somehow got put into a coma, yada yada yada, and then she's a private investigator. She gets married to Luke Cage, and they have a baby, right?
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, did I think those two Jessicas were the same the whole time?
No, but there's a reason why you would get them confused. There's a reason. Besides them like kind of looking alike, having the same first name, both having black hair, both kind of being like former Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
In the Jessica Jones book, her best friend was Carol Danvers.
Okay.
Carol Danvers is also best friends with Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman.
Oh, okay. So like, were both of them in this story? I'm just gonna imagine it's like a sitcom thing, or like the Jessicas are just trying to like, oh no, like Carol left me with her friend, or like Carol told me to go pick up her cat, but I can't. You pretend to be Jessica today.
No.
No?
No.
It's not like an episode of Full House?
It is not, or Bewitched.
Okay.
But what makes it even more interesting, Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman is now a private detective.
Oh no, why would you do this to me?
Why would you muddy the water like that?
Oh no. No, why?
So it's all types of confusing. That's why you was like, so like in my mind, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the reason I'm saying is because in my mind, I know it's a different character, but I'm transporting the Jessica Jones relationship onto this relationship.
Okay.
Because she's best friends with both.
Uh-huh.
So in my mind, oh yeah, the history perfectly makes sense. Like, no, it's not the same character, goddammit. But there's a reason why you would feel like you missed something. And like, I can't even point to a comic I can tell you where Carol Danvers and Jessica Drew just hang out like that. I think it might be an Avengers comic, but I could definitely point to a comic where Jessica Jones and Carol Danvers hang out a lot.
Okay. See, now I'm wondering if like, would I have been more interested in the Netflix series if it was Jessica Drew instead? Okay. Anyways, I'm like, maybe that was the problem as I started watching it, and I was like, why isn't she Spider-Woman? Okay. That was a really great digression. I've now got a window open with like the Wikipedia page for each of them, and I'm just going back and forth between like the photo, and I'm like, I can't believe this. Why would you do this to me?
Then to make her a detective after all these years, after Jessica Jones was a detective, it just seems really, really odd,
There's only so many jobs that a female superhero can have, It's a joke.
No, I know. But
okay.
But yes, it's funny you brought up that relationship because like the whole time I kept implanting this Jessica Jones relationship onto Jessica Drew. Like I just kept doing it. Anyway, yes, sorry. Small digression. Is there anything you didn't like about this comic?
So there was a little time travel plot that was like a little cheesy, where it's like she meets the older female pilots who are dressed not like it's the 40s, but like it's the 1990s. They were a little anachronistic, but cool. Like I got the point.
Especially when one of them was Harley Quinn. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. I was like midriff pigtails, but then it was like, oh, but like in order to even like have had enough access to planes to get that far, like they were all like rich girls.
Right.
And I was like, okay, like they're eccentric, like spoiled, daughters.
I don't hate the rich like that. Like I know we are all kind of left leaning and like it's cool to hate the rich. No, I get it. Look, goddamn it, if I had the resources and I was a woman, I'd do the same damn thing.
Well, and I mean, like they were even, like they got to learn to fly planes, and then they were like using it to help. Like I'm like that's cool, but I feel like it just allowed me to be like, okay, like they're eccentric. Like that's why they don't feel old timey, is because they're eccentric, weird rich girls.
Yeah, they didn't feel old timey, and it didn't feel like World War II. It felt more like Vietnam, if anything.
Yeah. But I mean, like I liked the overall idea of that story, where it was creating like this connection between her and her, not really her mentor, but like this woman that she looked up to, Helen, and realizing that she'd met her. And it just like, that was kind of interesting. So, but I mean, like the girls in the past just felt weird.
Yeah.
So that was my main criticism.
I like also it's like an origin story in case you didn't know who Carol Danvers was.
Yeah.
They make sure you knew by the end of those first 6 issues.
Yeah.
So, let me see. What I was going to say something, and now I lost my train of thought. Shit.
It happens.
It does.
Maybe you have a brain lesion that is caused by your superpowers.
Look, you know what? Let's get to that. I didn't like those issues as much, and it's mainly because of the art. I did not like the art.
Okay.
I forgot who the person was.
Let's look it up. This was mostly in the second volume, right?
Yes.
Okay, so are you talking about the art where everybody gets like wiggly?
Yes. I was like,
okay. That is Philippe Andrade.
Yeah,
Andrade. Okay. And Jordi Belair colors over that. I didn't mind. I didn't mind that art at all. I kind of liked it.
Oh, well.
It was very, like gestural.
Right. Okay, well, I'm glad somebody liked it. I'm glad it just for me, right? It just for me. I was just like, I like my art to not call attention to itself. Then if it does, I want it to be like magnificent looking, and I just feel like I don't know, cause like everybody get like weird proportions and shit.
Mhm.
Like all of a sudden Captain Marvel is like 7 feet tall, 7 or 8 feet tall, and she's all leg.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I liked it.
So should we talk about...
Let me put it this way. I liked that better than like when I could see like her individual breasts under her costume.
Well, you know what? We're not going to talk about that because you know my opinion on that, man. You know my...
Right. So I preferred like abstract, pseudo anime, wiggly, abstract, pretty color Captain Marvel more than like anatomically correct Captain Marvel.
That's fine. We're different, and that's okay. But I think we should talk about the biggest problem with these first 12 issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the way it ends.
Oh yeah, we didn't really get. I was like. Well, I mean, like they're all on sale on Comixology right now because of the movie. So I was like, I think maybe I'll keep reading, because it did 2 volumes ended on a cliffhanger.
Right. And yeah, I didn't like that. I'm so that really upset me. I was just like, God, and this is the second Marvel book now that we've read in so many months where like something that was perfectly fine is ruined
Mm-hmm.
by an impending crossover.
Yeah. Okay, well, so what is it crossover with then?
It is as a crossover into his own event written by Kelly Sue Deconnick called The Enemy Within,
Okay.
where young Rog comes back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the thing. But I was enjoying this book, and I really hate that it ended like that. I just wanted not necessarily an ending per se, but an ending to the arc. But like after 6 issues, it felt like the arc was just getting started, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Yeah. Interesting.
So Amanda, is there anything else you would like to say about this book? Is there anything you would like to add, or?
No, I really liked this version of Captain Marvel more than the one we saw in the Ultimates.
Right.
You got to see her, I think in the Ultimates we only got to see her being like perfect, which sucks and is boring, and she's not actually.
And she's kind of the villain because Civil War 2 was creeping up, and she's the villain in that, so she's kind of a bitch. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. So no, I liked this, and I really liked thinking about it as like, like Wonder Woman, but what if she wasn't a fish out of water? Or like Superman, but like, what if he had pretty hair? Right? Like, and for a few volumes, it's very enjoyable to read.
So I have a confession to make. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
like this book the first time I read it. Like, I think I read like the first 2 or 3 issues because someone gave them to me.
Okay.
And like because of my bias against Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel, I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm glad that like I have this chance like 6-7 years later to reread it. Now that
I think it's very cool that you reread it at all.
Well,
It would have been very easy to just, well, actually with the movie coming out, it would have been harder to ignore, but like, no one made you go back and change your mind.
No, I'm sometimes
It's just not all adults can do that. It's good.
Sometimes stuff don't strike you the way it should when you first go to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I went back with an open mind. And plus, I've been on the internet now for like 6-7 years. It's a fucking hellscape out there. I know what it means to have to have an open mind and be temperate in your expectations and biases. So that's what I did this time.
That's awesome.
I think that's a good stopping point for the comic. Now, let's roll into Captain Marvel, the movie.
Spoilers from here on out?
Yes, definitely spoilers. I will say this about this movie. I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I had some trepidations. But with all the online arguments, I do feel like maybe this is a bit of a Ghostbusters 2016 thing. Where
Okay.
there's the men haters on one side and the people with a bunch more sense on the other side. And I think maybe, even though I loved it, I can see why people didn't like this, and I wonder if some of the reviews, like Ghostbusters 2016, are padded just a bit.
Mm.
And I hate to say that because I don't think it's like some weird grand conspiracy, but I do think as humans, when there's such a strong reaction against something, especially when it's wrong, I think we have a tendency to push back even harder.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that. I enjoyed this movie. Amanda, did you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So here's the thing. I went and saw it with my movie husband, not my actual husband. I have a guy friend who's very into movies, so we went and saw it together. And when I got back, my actual husband was like, "Hey, so is it good? Like, are we going to go back and watch it again?" And I was like, I don't know. but now, like, a day or two later, I'm like, oh yeah, I would totally go back with him and watch it if he wants to see it.
Okay.
So I think like, immediately leaving the theater, I may have been a little bit disappointed. And, after sleeping on it, I'm like, no, like, it was fine.
So, I think...
And I have a lot of interesting comments from my movie husband, because he was watching this from a movie perspective, not like a comic book fan perspective.
You know, it's funny. I can do that because I'm a movie person. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
hardcore.
Well, I mean, we're both I'm a little bit, but yeah.
But, like, I can do that with everything but comic book movies.
Yep.
like everything else I can be objective on except comic book movies.
Yeah.
So, I think Captain Marvel is a perfectly serviceable Marvel movie about middle of the pack for a normal person.
Yeah.
For me, I loved every bit of it as much as possible because I love space. I love Marvel's cosmic aspect, and they had that shit in spades in this movie.
Yeah.
I seen Skrulls for the first time. I seen live action Skrulls. I seen the Kree Skrull War, well, a version of it. And I even seen someone go Super Saiyan. Like, it had everything I love. I think all the performances are good, but I need to get this out the way now. Brie Larson. Everybody's been talking about Brie Larson. The men has been talking about she looks wooden and all that stuff. I think Brie Larson, for the most part, is perfectly fine. And I think towards the end, she really lightens up. With that being said, there are parts of this movie where I feel like maybe she was slightly miscast.
Interesting.
Like, just, like, not too much, but I just think Brie Larson doesn't read as tough chick to me. And maybe that's just a me thing, right? But, like, I feel like a Charlize Theron or, like, you know, Emily Blunt would have been more suited for Carol Danvers. Because Brie Larson, and again, this is no fault of her own, right? Just seems too much of a girly girl. And not saying you can't be a girly girl in a pilot. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. But I just feel like maybe she was slightly miscast. With that being said, though, she had a lot of charm, especially her scenes with Nick Fury. And I do think as the movie goes on, she gets better. Like towards the end, I really do. She started to show more personality. I do think she's a little wooden, but I think that has more to do with the script than it does her.
Yeah, when the script is you have essentially amnesia for the first 2/3 of the movie. Like, what are you gonna do?
Like, you know, there's a lot of blank expressions on her face, and I'm like, I think that's just the script. I think that's just how they directed her. I really do. Because because in the scenes when she's with Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury character, she's almost a different person.
Well, she is. She's getting her memories back and stuff. Like that's my problem is that they took away the memories of somebody for drama, right? Like, that's a classic soap opera thing.
Right.
Like, a case of explosive amnesia. Like, you know, but the way that creates drama is because the audience knows the character and the character doesn't. When the audience doesn't know the character and the character doesn't know the character, it's just like...
It's hard to connect with. It's hard to connect with that character.
Yeah.
And...
so that was my friend Scott, that was, like, one of, like, his main complaint about this movie was that this was the first time he saw a Marvel movie and was like, where were my notes? Like, he's like, he felt like he was missing stuff. Like, he felt like he was like, wait, he's like, I didn't remember where the Tesseract was supposed to be. I didn't remember this. Like, was that guy the same guy as that guy? Like, he just felt like he was out of the loop for the whole movie.
And there's no anchor because the main character doesn't know what's going on either.
Yeah. And then I was a little disappointed because I just finished telling you that, like, my favorite part of Captain Marvel is that, like, there are no stakes when she's fighting because you know she's super overpowered. And so I'm sitting there from, like, literally the introductory scene of the movie going, like, oh no, am I gonna sit here for this whole damn movie and not even watch her be, like, Princess Sparkle Fingers, whiz-bang, overpowered superwoman? I'm like, am I gonna have to wait until the final fight scene to watch her actually glow and fight, like, fly around?
Yes.
I was like, damn it, no. I did not come to this movie to watch her, like, actually fight. I came to this movie to watch her just, like, blow shit up nonchalantly. So that was my disappointment. So for me, there was also no dramatic tension because I knew where we were going to end up.
How cool is that match with that mohawk, especially when it's on fire?
Yes, that is very cool.
Yes, okay, good. I just make sure I wasn't the only one.
It was, and that's the thing where I'm like, after going home and sleeping for a day or two, now I'm like, no, actually, like it was cool enough. Like I would go back and watch it again.
And just to go back to Larson for a second, I think another problem with her is her mean face is adorable, and I don't think that's what they was going for. Like, you know, like just her mad face didn't always look that mad. She looked more flummoxed than mad, in my opinion.
But see, that plays so well into the whole like you're under you're saying, oh, she seems kind of like a girly girl. She seems kind of like she doesn't really look mad when she's mad. Like, that is great because she's not supposed to be like what you expect. Like that's what I liked about the character in the comic book was like people are underestimating her for no reason. And then she shows them, no, like you absolutely can't underestimate me. Like just because I don't like, you know, just because like I don't look mad doesn't mean, just because I look like a girly girl doesn't mean I can't blow you up.
So you trying to say I'm one of those terrible people? I understand.
No. I think everyone is supposed to have. So, and that's why I was saying, like, I think it worked better in the comic because the whole audience is put in the role of that asshole who underestimates her.
Right.
And then we're proven wrong. And I'm like, if I'm not willing to like if I already know, if I go into the movie, like, knowing who she is, then it's just, like, I'm just like the realization doesn't, like, I don't, essentially I felt like I didn't get to watch her grow because I kind of, the comics, what I'm saying is the comics ruined it for me.
Oh, no, you know what? You can't let that happen. I know it's hard.
I know.
We had to take
this is like the first time where like reading the comic really like made, well, and I guess that's maybe my not complaint, but I find it interesting that usually the plot of the comic book movie doesn't operate based on the assumption that no one knows who the character is.
Right.
Like Aquaman, we read almost exactly the same plot in a comic book right before the movie. Did not ruin the movie because the movie didn't assume that I had never heard of Aquaman before. Like, this movie kind of assumed that you'd never heard of Captain Marvel before.
I mean, they would be right.
Yes.
But no, I do get your point.
It would be like if you watched some movie about like some guy named Colin and he doesn't really know what's going on and he like gradually discovers his superpowers and then like in the final act of the movie you discover that he's Superboy or something, right? Like if you know, it doesn't there's a twist there for some people that like I didn't get to enjoy.
So let me ask you,
how
do you think about the structure of the movie? Where like this is an origin story, but they try to do it in a different way to where the origin is kind of told in a flashback. Do you like the way they integrated her origin story?
No, I think that was also the same problem that they had with the John Carter movie. where they put the flashback to the origin in the middle of the movie, and it didn't explain that retroactively explained the character's behavior for the beginning of the movie, but it was too late. You'd already judged him, and it didn't change your mind about him because it was too late.
I like that movie, by the way. I really wished it was.
Yes, I loved that movie, but the structure of that movie ruined it.
You know what? To this day, I believe that movie would have made a lot more money if they just would have called it John Carter of Mars instead of just John Carter. Because who the hell is John Carter? I don't know. I don't want to go see that. John Carter of Mars, on the other hand, sounds way cooler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Small tangent. So, what do you think about all the side characters in this? Because this is what I think this movie really shines is her supporting cast.
Yes. So I loved the Rambos. I loved her pilot friend and her daughter Monica. I loved the Skrull. That was Ben Mendelsohn, right?
Yes, it was.
Yes, Talos. He was great. Obviously,
great villain. Well, who we thought was villain. Great bad antagonist. Unfortunately, he turned out not to be antagonist, but if he ended up being the antagonist for the whole movie in some sort, I think he would have went up there with like a Loki or a Vulture as being like one of the best Marvel villains.
I mean, we still have time in the future for a double cross, you know?
Oh, I'm hoping
Skrull invasion led by him would be amazing.
Look. I'm kind of upset, like in a good. I'm upset. I'm glad. I like the movie. I'm upset that they wasn't the bad. They end up not being the bad guys. Cause for me, the Skrulls are always the Kree are the ones that usually flip flop between good and bad. Mm-hmm. But the Skrulls are always the bad guys.
But see, it'll just be better when we get the Skrull invasion and we're like, no, we thought we were friends with them, and they're like,
this is what I'm hoping for, right? Because in the comic book, right, the Skrulls hate Reed Richards because when Galactus came to the planet the first time, Reed Richards repelled it, and the next planet that Galactus could get to was the Skrulls' home planet, and he ate it, destroyed it. So like they see Reed Richards as Space Hitler, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm hoping for is they find a whole new planet, they get settled, and everything's great, and Galactus come and eats it because of some shit Reed Richards did, and then we set secret invasions from there, and they just piss the hell off at Earth.
Yeah.
Having Skrulls was like just to see them, and like to be honest, they actually translate pretty well. I was worried, but they actually look like Skrulls. They don't look that far off from their comic book counterparts, which I really.
And yet, my friend had to ask me, are those supposed to be the guys that Thor fought?
The Dark Elves? Yeah. I can see that, though. I can see that.
Right? So, like, a casual fan who isn't, like, taking notes at this point, it's now, like, I feel like I feel like Marvel is hitting, like, a critical point where casual fans are running out of room to pay attention, and they can't keep adding more comic book shit.
What are they supposed to do then?
They're supposed to let the series end and then come back and redo everything in like another 10 years.
With X-Men and Fantastic Four characters.
Yes.
Well, I think we're actually coming to an end pretty soon. But it's funny that he said that because like when I was watching like the pictures, when they were showing pictures and stuff, and I seen the Skrulls for the first time, I definitely got like a Dark Elves vibe, like Thor, the Dark World, Dark Elves, Malekith vibe. But they have way more personality than those fuckers ever had. All of them, all of them had personalities, and I really do appreciate that. I really, Samuel Jackson, man, he really knocks it out the park.
He does, and this is kind of the most he's really gotten to do in any of the movies.
Right. And I guess
I got a very like Mulder and Scully dynamic from the two of them also. That was very like,
but in reverse.
them playing James Bond in the in the stacks or whatever. Very, very X-Files feel.
So, we're both cat people, right?
Yes.
So, my favorite character was Goose.
Yes.
I love Goose. I don't know what else to say. I love Goose as my favorite character. I don't know what to say. He was adorable, even as he was eating people.
Yeah. Well, and again, like this whole like underestimating things because they're cute.
Right.
It's it's nice that like the cat is just like Captain Marvel. Like you underestimate it because it's cute. And objectively, it's like the most dangerous thing in the room. No, I agree. The cat was a hilarious touch. But we always like the animal sidekicks, you know?
I just feel like it was a dirty pool. You know what I'm saying? Just like, of course they're gonna put a cat in here. They did it just for me. They're gonna make me like this movie because they put a cat in it. Yep.
That is also, it does feel a little bit market researched. Like, you know, cats are so hot on Reddit right now. We got to put one in this movie.
Me and my wife was both going, oh, yeah. We was basically Samuel Jackson.
That was a wonderful moment too. Like just seeing him like fawn over this little cat.
This hardcore like military man, shield agent, just like, oh, look at the kitty. Also, no black people died in this movie, so like that's a double thumbs up. Cause I was really worried about her partner. It's not Monica, but Monica's mom.
Yeah.
I was really like, are they gonna kill her?
Oh yeah, I was a little worried about that too.
Cause I leaned over to my wife and like, she's going to die. Because they set this up perfectly. They Joss Whedon this shit up and they gonna kill her, but she gonna be the real hero and I'm gonna be really upset. But no, there's only 2 black people in this movie, and they survive. 3. There's 3 black people in this movie and they all survive, even the bad guy.
Oh, and hey, that's almost 50% of the cast, right?
It is. It really is.
And look, nobody noticed or fucking cared or boycotted the movie, and it didn't feel weird.
It didn't. They was too worried about it being a woman to care about the black people.
That's not quite the intersection they mean when they talk about intersectional feminism, but
no, but hey,
maybe interceptional, like if you worry about the lady over there, you won't worry about all of the cool minorities sneaking into your background cast.
And it helps that, like, you know, it's Samuel Jackson. As we all know, everybody loves Samuel Jackson. Open-minded people and bigots alike love Samuel Jackson on some cellular level that they can't even explain. But
yeah.
What did you think of the de-aging makeup?
I thought, okay, so they definitely did better with Fury than Coulson. Yes,
Coulson looks a bit like a robot. He looks a bit Max Headroom a little bit.
Yeah, but they have so much, like, we know exactly what Samuel Jackson should look like in, 1993?
1995, and yes, we do, because
because he was in movies.
Yeah, he was a year after Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, so they have, I think, more data that they can use.
Right.
To get it to look right.
To the point where, like, I never...
Oh, also insert, like, generic joke about how, like, black people never look older.
Oh, well, you know, black don't crack, baby, black don't crack.
So what de-aging? He looks exactly the same.
Well, to be honest with you, Samuel Jackson don't look like he aged a whole lot in the last 20
years.
Right. Like, Samuel Jackson is 70. And
right, like, they didn't have to do that much to him.
They gave him a hair piece, put a couple of dots on his face and was done. Mm. So, I guess we should talk about one of the other aspects that I like. Now, Amanda, you're a 90s baby just like I am. We were both raised firmly in the 90s. most, like, our formative years from, we're both about the same age, from 1990 to 1999.
Yes.
What did you think about this soundtrack?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a little bit, I feel like they were trying a little too hard though. Like it felt a little out of place sometimes.
I guess look, you know what, you're probably
Okay,
right. No.
this is the thing, I liked all the songs. Like, I would buy the soundtrack, but like, I felt like they didn't quite have like the James Gunn magic to know exactly like where to use the songs.
I also, well, everybody can't be. James Gunn is a tremendous talented.
Right.
And I was telling my brother the difference is, because my brother said, oh, it's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, no, the difference is James Gunn finds a clever way to use it. Like the music is actually playing in the scene.
Yeah.
Not so much here. It just plays over certain action scenes sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, I guess I agree. But I was too busy bobbing my head to
You were too busy feeling pandered to.
Yeah, just a bit, right? I hate that.
You were enjoying your fan service. You weren't.
Yeah. Oh man, when Garbage came on,
yeah.
You should see. Look. I live in a black area. I went to a black movie theater. I'm the only nigga singing all these songs. I'm just jamming. Then when they play Hole at the end, yeah.
Yeah. I will say that, No Doubt, I'm Just a Girl. I was kind of saving that song in my head for a Why the Last Man movie starring Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. So really for me, there was just a momentary pang of grief that like they're never going to make that movie for me.
Well, now it's a TV show, so.
Right. So we're definitely never going to get that movie. But when everyone was like, Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth are going to be a movie together, I was like, please, Why the Last Man?
Nope, it's Men in Black.
Nope. Which is also great. That's fine.
Starring famous Negro hunter Liam Neeson. Shall I leave that in?
I didn't know he was famous for that.
No, he's not, but
wasn't he famous for saying that he thought about it and then didn't do it?
No, he walked around looking for a black person. He just couldn't find none because it's fucking Ireland. There's no black people in Ireland.
Oh no. We didn't talk about the Kree at all.
We did not talk about the Kree and Annette Bening.
Yes, who was great.
She was. Also, no one complained that they gender swapped Marvel.
Right.
I have not heard not one complaint about Marvel being a woman now.
Yeah. Jude Law did fine.
I'm always happy to see Jude Law.
I think he was also like very plausible as like a manipulative, like slightly seductive, like charmer.
Well, yeah, it's Jude Law. I think that's Jude Law in real life.
Right. I also really liked the other Kree who were with him.
Yes.
Gemma Chan was in Crazy Rich Asians last summer.
Okay.
And she was Minerva, like the cute one with like the hair on the side.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that she was like, I mean, she was in the movie for like 30 seconds total, but I thought she was really cute and like sassy, like, Carol's like, oh, have you ever been to Earth before? And she's like, yeah, it sucks. And then you find out the time she was there was when they like tried to kill her. And then there was the other guy who, I need to look up the actor's name.
Was Simon Hansu?
Yeah, because he's the Star-Lord guy, right?
Yes, it's the same guy. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so it was little things like that where my casual fan friends were like running out of brain space to be like, wait, am I supposed to know that guy? Wait, was this before or after that? Why, like, how did he get, like, am I supposed to, and, just all the questions started coming and I was like, we have never walked out of a Marvel movie and had him turn to me and like start asking questions.
You know, it's funny, right? When you like a normal person, like us, right? We take this shit for granted, even when we don't know something. I think as comic book readers, you kind of roll with the punches a little bit more when we don't know something. But for like normal people, they're like, no, I need to know.
Well, but even just like, because there were things in other movies that he didn't know or didn't remember, but I mean, and it wasn't just him. It was, we saw it in the middle of the day. I took the afternoon off work for reasons. And so it wasn't a lot of people in the theater. And, everyone else in the theater was like, well, wait, like wasn't everyone was just like, well, wait, but like, wasn't the Tesseract somewhere else? And I was like, oh no. Like everyone in the theater is leaving and they're like asking questions. And I'm like, I don't know if Marvel can translate those questions into comic book sales, which they should be doing.
But somehow they just can't. And we come back to also just back to the music. I'm happy that they used Nirvana. I don't know if I would use it in that scene or that song per se. Yeah. But but like they had to use it. I don't know. I think I probably would say Nirvana for like an action scene. That's all. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So let's see. I think we covered everything. I think as far as world building goes, I think this is it almost reminds me of Iron Man 2. Like I know a lot of people hate Iron Man 2, but I love Iron Man 2 because they just said the hell with the plot. And it just did all this world building. And I feel like this movie, in a lot of ways, does the same thing. Where, like, the actual story / plot of it is just okay. Yeah. But the world building is amazing.
Yeah, they had a lot to get done in this movie. And if Carol Danvers having amnesia for the first half is how they got it done, then I can't really think of a better way.
I mean, look, they know, right? Mm-hmm. Even if this movie got mixed reviews, it's gonna make a ton of money, and they're gonna make a sequel. Yeah. And I mean,
Ant-Man got a sequel.
Yeah. So,
right.
So I think we should talk about the reviews for this movie. I hate to bring up Rotten Tomatoes, but it's been in the news so much. Right now, this movie stands at a 79% fresh by actual reviewers. Now, while that is still good, that's kind of low for a Marvel movie. I think the only movies that are like lower are Age of Ultron and the second Thor movie. Now, I know Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate site. Aggregate, I can't even say that word. Well, if you had to put a percentage on this movie, Amanda, what would you do, hypothetically speaking?
Let's see, 80% is like a B. That sounds about right to me.
Yeah, so 79. Okay, so and right now it stands at
and having only like Age of Ultron and the bad Thor movie below it. Like I might put one or two other movies below it, but like I think it's middle to bottom of the pack for me.
Yeah, I think so too. But like that's why I said this is kind of a Ghostbusters like situation, I feel like, because if you remember when Ghostbusters came out 2016, not the original, right, it actually got like a lot of glowing reviews at first, then the score kind of went down, but people still saying it was good. Now that it's 2 years on, I think a lot of people can admit maybe that movie was like not that it's bad, but maybe that movie wasn't as good as we made it out to be. And I wonder if it's going to be the same thing with Captain Marvel. Well, I loved it, right? Like, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I could see the flaws in it. I could see how people wouldn't like it, right? I think I enjoyed this movie more than most people. Look, I was so jazzed, I went about $40 worth of action figures. I went straight to Target and bought $40 worth of action figures from this movie. That's how jazzed I was about this movie. Even with its problems. So, Amanda, you got anything else to say?
No.
Wrap this up. So, tell the listeners, what are we reading next week?
So for our next show, we are going to read Fatale, which is an Image comic by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. And I don't normally do crime noir stuff, but I've heard so much about this author, and I kind of wanted to take a break from superheroes between Captain Marvel and the other Captain Marvel. So I think this will be a good read. We can do issues 1 through 10.
So there will be Fatal Volume 1, Death Chases Me, and Fatal Volume 2, Devil's Business. Now, man, before we go, if somebody wants to complain about us and how long-winded we are, where can they reach us?
We are on Twitter as Comic Book Club 52. And you can also email us. We're comicbookclub52@gmail.com. And you've got us on Facebook as well.
Which is just the Comic Book Club, not to be confused with the more popular Comic Book Club. So I think we'll get out of here. I think we talked enough. I'm Jamil Payne.
I'm Amanda Comey.
And we are out.